Hey folks, and welcome back to episode 6 of the Lands of Alaire. I hope you've been enjoying it thus far. Our party finds themselves in a room filled with recently deceased bodies attempting to get past a door that has continuously warned them that there's only terrible stuff beside it. Beyond. There are 4 sockets in the door, and you now, since tricking those goblins, have 4 gems in your inventory. All of the gems seem to be able to fit into the sockets. It's about the order.
So we have ruby.
You have a, deep red ruby, a bright green emerald, a dark green emerald, and a very white diamond.
Alright. May I?
I'll give him the ruby and the diamond.
So,
And Leander, you give him
Yeah.
that?
I think I'll do...
Then he takes them and runs.
Yeah, see ya! No, I think I'll do diamond, light, emerald, ruby.
Well done. Good job, party. We're gonna have to make the puzzles a lot harder from now on. I had a lot of discussion on, is it too hard? Is it easy?
It's the seasons,
Yes,
y'all.
it is.
He says as the door creaks open. And
Precisely.
So, I have a few things to do before we march
Before you
in.
dive in there, yeah.
So I think I'm gonna dish out as much of my lay on hands as people need. Get everybody back up to full.
Erlon is 6 beneath,
So there's 6 to him.
and Melee is 5 beneath.
5 to her, so 11, and I'm missing 9 exactly. So that gets rid of my lay on hands.
Well, that works pretty well.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I had 20
Exactly 15 HP missing from the party. Alan's got it.
20, yeah. And then so does it seem? I guess I can't tell what's up ahead just yet, in terms of
vision. It's a long hallway.
did my divine sense let me know? Is there
The
fiends
nature of it?
or?
It is a demon, an abyssal creature.
Well, I'm gonna cast protection against evil on myself, which is a 10-minute spell. I think it's creatures of the type I specify, so I'll say demon, have disadvantage to attack me, and I'm immune to being charmed, frightened, or possessed for 10 minutes.
Alright.
This is my last spell that I got. So.
Disadvantage to attack you.
Yes.
Do they have to make a saving throw before they're afflicted by that, or is it just an innate thing?
It's just an innate thing.
Nice.
At least I think. I'll double check. But
Anything else from you guys?
steel yourselves, friends.
Keep my great sword at the ready, my new one.
Yes. Once again, much like Leander's, very well balanced, very well constructed. It feels good in the hand, and you are ready to use it. Gilroy, you just glow in a moment for
yeah.
nailing that.
This will be our toughest challenge yet, but I feel like it's something we have to do. Leaving this here seems too dangerous for the Midnight Corps to be milling around.
I agree, Battle Brother. This, evil shall not stand in these good lands.
Indeed.
Saying this as you make your way up?
Yep.
Okay.
Our loud, boisterous selves.
You guys, continue your way on up, not stealthily at all, and make your way into this large room where you see a sizable, mouth-shaped demon that seems to be just kind of hanging in this pool of about foot-deep, crystal-clear water.
I'm gonna cast Sacred Weapon.
Okay. Well, as you do that, it looks up at you and goes, and now we need initiative.
In a certain regard.
Oh, Melee.
It is frightening, so...
It's definitely unlike anything you've ever seen. Gilroy.
16.
16. Leander.
15.
15. Erlon.
6.
6. And Melee.
4.
Don't even have to change anything.
This stuff is too supernatural for melee to deal with.
Yeah, right. She was
Bandits.
begging for bandits not long ago, and now here we
I thought
are.
we were dealing with spooky. No.
Gilroy, you take the initiative on this one. Seeing this creature, you studied about the abyss. This is bad. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, is that a wall in front of us or a
It is.
step?
It's kind of a fallen pillar. It's about 2 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
You can shoot over it.
Yeah. I think I'll take a position sort of behind it,
Okay.
maybe even kneeling. And cast Scorching Ray.
All right.
So,
3 different ranged attacks, 2 beams apiece.
25,
Yes.
20,
Yes.
and 21.
Nice.
Wow.
You're ready.
Yeah.
So 2d6 for each one.
Oh, you did hear there was treasure.
Yes. I think that's what the book said, right?
Particularly, treasure of some sort.
Yeah.
Particularly, now you witness as Gilroy, you can tell when he's being serious and when he's goofing around.
Apparently he's being incredibly serious right now.
26.
26 damage. It burns that thing up and just engulfs it in flame in the middle, though it does not seem to back off or anything from it. It just powers through it and takes it right to the front. Leander.
Doesn't do anything.
No, look how much damage it did.
Well, you can't see the health
Can't see the
Oh.
health. We never know if, like, on these big guys, you're just hiding it from us,
Yeah.
like, to make
No, it's
suspense
always
or-
a mistake on my
I'm cool with it.
Boom.
Ooh. Alright, okay.
That was with 20 something?
That was
26.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Well, I don't know.
No.
I don't know about this pool of crystal
Don't,
clear
don't,
water.
What else am I supposed to do?
So it's me.
Yes.
Give me your 1.
And by far
I
the
did
most
that.
dangerous combatant you have ever seen.
Right.
This thing has talons that are 8 inches long of dark iron and teeth, fangs that just curl out of this monstrous maw it has,
Right.
and a long lashing tongue.
Use my last divine sense. Just look this thing up and down. Look at the water.
Certainly a demon.
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose I'll. Ooh.
Well, your divine
Leander?
sense would have.
Right, that's what Leander's
Yeah.
thinking. He's just
You
gonna
didn't
trust
jump in.
Torm will protect him in this fight. And
Sprint in, the water, cool and clear, splashes against your boots. It is water.
I just didn't want to like lose my memory or something. Like
You jumped into the
It's actually a portal to the plane of ooze.
Oh, no! Not again. I'll take a swing at it.
Okay.
Got a +8 here. It's 17.
Yes.
Or 7 damage.
All right. It looks down at you and goes, yes. And it's going to be making an attack at disadvantage. An 18.
No.
No, it barely lashing out at you with one of these talons, and a huge splash in the pool. You manage to just deflect it with your shield. However, it immediately uses a legendary action to teleport over here and make a swipe at Erlon. It's going to be throwing a 19 on that swipe. You're going to be taking 46 psychic damage.
Oh, good.
You're taking 13 psychic damage from that swing.
Does it literally teleport?
Yes, it dissipates and then reappears.
Okay.
Which brings us to Erlon.
So yeah, watching Leander run in and this thing teleport, as a natural reaction, with the fear of him coming in front of me, I instinctually just bellow in rage,
Yeah,
and I hack right into its maw with my greatsword,
go for it.
and I'm gonna do it recklessly out of pure fear.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
So that's going to be, so 24.
Yes.
And I also, or no, I probably have to call it beforehand if I activate the
With
fire,
those
right?
ones,
No,
yeah.
that's fair. So that is,
Good bit of damage.
that's 10. Yes. I'm sorry.
No worries.
14 damage.
14. As you slice into this thing, no doubt feeling the traction of this new blade against its entirely, not incorporeal form, but just an entirely different type of matter than anything you've really seen before. Abyssal creatures are weird. Its body is like made of chaos, and you definitely cut into it and it rears back, and you guys are kind of locked in a melee at the moment, which brings us to melee.
Okay.
This plus this.
So, the question is, do we picked up those fire potions or oils
Yeah,
from
that
before?
you put on the air.
Yes, you can just douse a quiver worth of normal arrows in those, or magic arrows if you'd like to.
Okay.
So your 5 magic arrows you cover in fire.
I have 6. I would like to do.
6. Okay, and I'll say that they had their own quiver since they're magical. You kept them separate. Yeah, you
Okay.
take one of these things, crunch it up in your hand, and this brown oil just oozes out all over them. And immediately, with the slightest bit of friction, it ignites into this sustaining flame that seems to just float kind of above the arrows. It doesn't really burn them, and it seems to be ready to go.
So now you're going to use your sharpshooter?
Yes.
Alright, so roll your d20.
Oh. Well, that's okay. 9.
One flaming arrow streaks across, lands in the pool, and
Alright.
goes out. Which brings us to Gilroy.
Alright, I think I will reposition, for sure.
So, like, to the end of this pillar here, or?
Maybe to, like, next to Leander, but on the
like, making your
on the
way-
outer ring, though.
Like here?
No, rather, sort of do... Yeah,
South, or?
there you go. Yeah, about there. Nope.
That-
Yes.
I got you, yeah.
Exactly. And I will, once again, loose these 6 bolts of,
It's going all out.
yeah, of Scorching Ray. Much more... Okay, the first one's a 1. Luckily, there's more than that. Nat 20.
Nice. Kind of makes up for it.
That wasn't really
Yeah.
well. 19.
Okay.
So I just rolled.
And
Normal damage.
roll the first 2d6 and multiply them, and then roll another 2d6 and take those flat.
Okay. 8.
Okay.
And 6.
14.
Yeah.
You got more fire bursting into the back of this thing. Leander, it is your go.
I'll charge back up again into taking a large slash at its back.
Okay, you have advantage because you are quite flanking.
All right. I got 27.
Yes.
Or 12 damage.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Bringing it to its turn, I need everyone, with the exception of Leander, to make a wisdom saving throw. As it looks and just kind of reaching around this pillar, looks back and at all of you and goes, "Run."
A...
Yep.
9.
Gilroy, you are suddenly very afraid. This battle could turn at any moment, and this thing does not seem to be going down yet, and you are compelled to run away. What about you, Melee?
13.
13 will pass. And Erlon?
8.
Erlon, can you be made afraid when you're raging? Are you immune to fear?
Don't believe so.
Huh. I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to count that as a yes for now,
Right.
and we'll see what it comes to. And then, that was actually not its full action. It's going to make an attack against you. With a 17.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. Oh! You're going to be taking 20 points of psychic damage from that attack. As it slashes on down and seems to greatly injure Erlon through that. Do you see anything on that, TJ? I could have sworn that Rage said, I know you can't be charmed.
Yeah, I know I can be charmed.
I don't see it.
Is Rage on the page before that, or is it?
It's right here. No, strength checks, bonus damage, resistance.
Not seeing it?
No.
Alright, we're gonna
Perhaps it's higher level.
It might be, yeah, but that's just the way we're gonna run it for now. If we're wrong, sorry, but yeah. Erlon, you can make a wisdom saving throw if you'd like.
That will be 15.
15. Okay. You manage to shake off this sudden terror. And it's looking rough. That is, in fact, the end of your turn, however. And I think you are compelled to run 30 feet away.
Okay.
Yep.
So you get to about down that way down the hall before you realize that this is... No, you can't abandon your friends despite the circumstance and turn back. And that is the end of your turn on that saving throw. Which brings us to Melee. Melee, you steeled yourself through that, and now this thing is right in front of you.
I want to try again. The same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So with the fire and the magic and the sharpshooter.
And the sharpshooter, just rolling it all on there.
Plus 3.
So 16.
16 will hit.
Okay. So how does that work with the fire damage?
It's an extra d6 that you roll.
So roll your d8 first, and you add the 10 to that.
So 16?
Yep. And then an extra d6.
3 on that.
So 19. The arrow sinks right into the maw of this thing, setting ablaze parts of its inner mouth, and it chomps away at it, just trying to... It seems to, really stick in him and have a good effect on him. Which brings us...
close to Gilroy, because you can move on your turn as well.
Oh yeah, you could move away from
Because
him.
you're kind of by yourself at the moment.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Move towards Gilroy?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's about as far as you can make it.
So cool with that.
That works.
Which brings us to Gilroy. Gilroy, you... 2, 4, 5... You make it up to about here.
Oh, he has
Difference
to
to
run away,
me.
that's right.
18.
Yes. You shake off this feeling of utter terror, and focus comes back to you in the middle of this battle, which brings us to Leander. However, this thing's going to take a legendary action and attack you, Leander.
Mm-hmm.
With a natural 20.
It's gonna hurt.
It's going to be 26 points of damage off of that attack. As he just rends into you with these monstrous claws, sending you reeling back. Boom.
I was gonna say, probably breaking through, like, first the aura of protection I have,
Yeah.
and then bashing down through my shield, and then scratching my chest. Yeah.
Actually getting on
Totally
through you.
tearing me up.
Now it is your go.
And I don't know if Leander actually even... He might have done a prayer or something before coming up here, but I think the protection probably just came from Torm giving it to him rather than him asking directly for protection.
No, he's not really one to actually say the quotes.
Yeah.
But the power is there for him.
Right,
so.
you know, the last of the divine energy that he had around him was like kind of...
Coalescing into this aura.
Coalescing into this aura of protection against this beast, and I think he probably says something along the lines of, you know, Torm won't let us be defeated this day, and keeps swinging at the creature with a 1925.
Yes.
For 8 damage.
Okay. Brings it to its turn. Torm isn't here. And it just reaches down to lash its jaws on you.
Oh god.
With a 21 to hit. You're going to be taking 13 points of piercing damage from that one. Oh!
1 health!
Brings Leander to roll 1 health. And then
it's not incapacitated though.
It will use its last legendary action to disappear and reappear next to Melee.
Am I still in its mouth?
Huh?
Am I still in its mouth?
No, it chomped you when it disappeared.
Okay.
Because what does that feel
Just
like?
brings you over, drops it at my feet like a
Right, that's
like a
what
dog.
Or I thought he like just still had me in his mouth and was clawing at you.
Melee, it's going to be hitting you for 17 damage with that attack. And that is the end of its turn. Erlon.
Am I still in a rage?
You are,
Or-
yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that had negated it or not. Yeah, so seeing Leander taken down nearly, and then it disappear off, which I don't think I can see over there yet, I'm going to charge in as far as I can to make a dash action to move up to it.
Make your way on up to it.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to charge on up to it. You are not ready for an attack quite yet. Melee, it is your go.
Should I do that with the others?
Should we
Like,
add
do
more?
that and then do it again?
I would definitely attack and then use your action surge to attack again. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just.
No
pointing.
worries. Confirm that stuff. Be sure of what you're doing. This is not the time to be not
Might
using
still hit
everything you can.
12?
12 will not hit.
Yeah.
But you can make another attack.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
nat
no.
20!
I saw it.
Okay.
Don't worry, I saw it.
Immediately. Okay.
And were you doing sharpshooter with that too? Or
I
did
was
you...
doing the whole.
Yeah,
Okay.
she had already, for
Okay.
both.
Wow.
So, yeah, throw your,
2d8 and 2d6? Is that what it would be?
it would
Plus
be
10.
a d8 times 2 and
Right.
a d6 times 2 plus the 13? that you
Yeah.
had there? Yeah, okay.
So. That's 12 plus the 13.
Yep,
25.
25 damage.
Okay.
So unleashing the first arrow, he's in the middle of just trying to rend towards you, and the first one goes flying underneath his arm, and then just in quick thinking and quick wit, in a moment of heroism, you pull another one, draw wicked fast, unleash it, and it just cuts straight through this thing and goes out the back, and it gives out a these things are horrifying. Which brings us to Gilroy.
Alright, I think, after having sort of shaken off
Yeah.
the fear, still definitely, not 100% with it yet, Gilroy, I think he'll, brace himself against the back of the room sort of thing, and tuck his staff under one arm, and reach out with his hand to unleash his final Scorching Ray, his final level 2 spell. So these big fat streaks of flame fly through the air, and 10 is not going to
No.
hit. 25.
Yes.
That's not really a roll.
The third one is never really a roll.
22.
Yes.
So
Yeah, some good bonuses.
46.
yeah, I got a plus 6 now that I'm level 4.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
18 intelligence, baby.
A
9.
6 and 3
9. With good precision, but not much force, they burst into his back and just boil on through him, which brings us to Leander. Quite
Right.
shaken.
Yeah, he's probably, not quite prone, but, falling back onto his shield,
Yeah.
probably, and still reeling and has to look around for a second to determine just where he teleported to.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing Erlon run past to the beast, I run over. Still going,
Okay.
not quite incapacitated yet. Taking a large swing at him. Torm will win this day, whether you try and stop it or not.
You do have advantage. You're flanking.
Alright, see if I get a crit. No, but
Pretty close.
9, 26.
Yes.
I really know, Torm is guiding my hand on this one. For 8 damage.
8 damage.
I don't think I've rolled less than half for the
Yeah.
damage so far against this guy.
Well, now it's going to make 2 slashing attacks against you, Leander.
Mm-hmm.
The first one's going to miss. And the second one's going to hit.
Well,
So you are reduced to 1 HP.
Right.
From being a half-orc.
Right. He once again. I don't know. Can you roll to see how much damage you do, just so I can, you know,
Just so you can be badass.
right? Well, just to see, you know, how how Leander takes it.
17 damage.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Pushing through that was particularly difficult, and I probably should have given this guy one more legendary action, but that's the way I wrote him. So that brings us from the beast to Erlon.
Alright, so with the fear that gripped me before and not being able to attack or not having been hit, I actually lost my rage.
Oh, yes.
But I asked Malera, guide me and my friends to strike down my enemies. And I raise my great sword in the air and I use its activation power to set it on fire.
Okay.
As I scream in rage and bring it down recklessly upon him.
Okay.
And that will be 18.
Yes.
Right. It's D6, 2d6 plus d8.
Oof. Should
So that's 8 plus 3. So 11 damage.
11 damage. Seeing Leander being cut into by this thing, you run up with this opportunity and just bring the great sword on down and slash into it hard into its side, and it seems to just be losing its shape now, shaking, undulating, and falling apart, which brings us from Erlon to Melee.
bring it down, maybe.
Legolas!
Still have a couple arrows left, right?
I do.
I would just go for broke.
Yep.
Yeah. With the
Pro-
sharpshooter?
no, probably just a
Yeah,
normal attack.
just-
He's
Oh, yeah.
Because I
Pretty
don't want to
much-
miss it now.
Yeah, precision this time.
It'd suck if you got another round and.
Erlon's attitudes go for
Yeah.
broke.
So 18,
Yes.
Max.
11.
Yeah.
And it's burning, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
So it's another d6, yeah.
Thank you. 5.
Almost,
Nice.
almost exactly max damage.
Yeah.
1 all.
The arrow bursts on its back, the flame seems to just reach on over it as the oil spreads, and it just gives out this bellowing roar, ripping into itself, tearing itself apart, and then falls. Dead.
Cool.
Good shot, Melee.
Leander probably falling to his knees. His arm, I think, like in tatters, basically. You know.
Yeah, you got torn into by that attack. You're bleeding pretty heavily and breathing heavily, though you are still capable of standing.
Yeah.
I think I'll approach Leander and the rest of the party and uncap the old healing potion I found earlier. And
Smells a bit musky, but it'll do the trick.
Yep.
And that is 4d4 plus 4 HP. Gilroy, now that you have a moment to focus,
yes,
this reminds you a lot of that teleportation.
pool we saw.
Yes, but this one is of a different construction, and from what you know in your studies, there's almost no doubt that this is a ancient divination pool.
Interesting.
Runes on this pillar, this fallen pillar here, state in many different languages, from some that you do not know, to Draconic, to Celestial, to so on and so forth. Elvish, Dwarvish, even Common is on here, and it says, ask and you shall see.
I got 17 health
Okay.
there.
So yeah, I'll relay that information and suppose shall we give it a go?
If it spawned this evil thing, I think we should leave at once. I do not believe this will bear fruit. I think it is all trickery. But I will protect you, even if I do not agree with you.
Good shooting, Melee. That could have been closer.
So do you need another potion?
No, I'll be fine now.
Okay.
Let's say you, Leander.
I have a few questions I would ask.
Be my guest.
What would you ask it?
I'll contemplate for. I think Leander contemplates it.
All right, I have a bunch of questions.
I was gonna say, I'll let
Gilroy pushes you aside.
I gave you all your shots.
Enough waiting.
No. Like I would probably say, Gilroy, you go ahead first. I have to think of what I'm going to ask.
Okay. Gilroy, you come up to the side of the pool by the rim. Gazing into it, what do you ask?
I'll ask about the Azamar.
Okay. The Azamar is currently, you see her in a cage of sorts. She seems to be locked away in a forest. A young woman, maybe 19. She's dressed in very fancy but torn up green, a nice green dress that indicates some degree of noble origin. And she is indeed locked away alone right now. What you see around her is a great many fluorescent flowers and grasping vines. But other than that, that is the vision that you see before the water stops being, the vision stops being so clear.
Okay. Would that be visible to everybody?
Only you.
Only me.
To them, it looks like a pool of water.
Okay. Well, I saw her, and she's not doing well. I think someone may have gotten to her before I could. Nothing specific, but I believe this pool. I think its visions are true. I recommend you use it.
I think Leander's probably praying for a moment still.
Sure.
I think you had the most questions, but you don't trust the pool.
I do not trust this at all. This whole place is cursed as far as I'm concerned, and not knowing, in my head, not knowing the ways of magic, I don't know how subtly or how this will have consequences later. I'm very superstitious, so I will not gaze in the pool.
Maylee?
I know everything I need to know.
That
Certainly not a wizardly look.
Yes, that is crazy. How could you possibly know everything you need to know? Can I pose it more questions?
It seems to be, yeah.
Alright, where's Vorkin?
Be careful.
Vorkin is not far from here. In fact, you see a vision of an encampment in a forest. You see Vorkin, a robed figure that you presume is Vorkin anyway. You cannot make too much detail from the shadow of his guise. However, he is standing atop the stump and addressing a group of what looks to be 100 to 200 young men dressed in chain with axes at their sides.
And he's not an orc.
Not that you can see, no. He looks much more human.
So, but I can make out that detail. That...
Yes, but you don't know what his hair color or eyes.
Right, yeah,
nothing
sure.
distinct.
Yeah.
He's not, not.
But I mean, that's a
sobered.
surprise to me,
It is.
as I never
You
heard.
never knew. Yeah, only
And
Leander
we
had
still
some
can't
kind
see
of
it.
clue.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, he's addressing humans though, young men.
Vorkin's not what we may have thought he is.
What do you mean?
He seems more charismatic and capable than we may have thought. I mean, we knew he was dangerous, but now he's commanding men like you or me, not just orcs and ogres. And he's not far from here. I wonder if Chantel has any news by the time we get back.
That is troubling.
Oh, who would have known? No, I'm just digging on you. Yeah.
I'll move up to the pool.
Okay. Calm waters greet you.
First, I'll ask it where. I'll ask who else is alive from the temple.
From your temple,
Yeah.
you see Arena, and then you see a paladin of not exactly your mentor.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Liathane, and he seems to be battling away somewhere in central Farinwell, fighting off whatever vile creatures he can find. It looks as though he's been on the road for months, and you see him currently surrounded by the bodies of goblins. But as if he no longer has any acolytes, he doesn't have a squire, he has kind of abandoned it and gone off alone, it seems. You knew his name, but he was just another member.
Right. Didn't have any interaction with him
Not
directly.
so much, no, yeah. With the exception of he was at the temple during prayer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It is at this moment that the pool goes from the clear waters to suddenly you can't really see the shining of the reflection on top, only the stone underneath, as if it's entirely clear and you can see right through it.
I suppose.
3 questions is what you get.
All right.
Suppose we should leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna make note of this place in my journal.
Okay. Definitely deserves a note.
Yes.
So you guys begin to just turn around and make your way out of there?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, there's the goblins, but do we really have to fight those guys? They probably had, like, some sticks and stuff.
Well, we said we're supposed to clear this out, and I'm not sure how much more we really had to go, so...
Yeah.
They're not disturbing the people on the farm.
It was the spiders, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were hired to kill Spider.
Yeah. Our job is done.
It was like 6 goblins, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna stick in that corner for pretty much the rest of their lives.
Yeah. They like it there.
I was gonna say,
The court can be away.
I feel like they'd be content eating spiders, and a few grown miners will be able to take out 6 or 8 goblins. You know.
You guys begin to make your way back through the ruins. Go along the paths you've already traveled, as for no surprises. Make your way back up and see that many of those abyssal ruins have seemingly just kind of drawn themselves out of existence. Now it's just flat dirt where once those were. Presumably because the source of the energy there is now defeated and vanquished. And as you guys make your way on up, you follow those tracks until you make it to the mouth of the mine, where you see entering our good friend Sibelius and an escort of a few different various armed men that he has with him. And Sibelius, now dressed in traveler's robes. When you had met him in the tavern, he was dressed very regally. He is minus a lot of the jewelry and plus a walking stick. And his large, fat frame blocks out a bit of the light from the late afternoon sun as you guys have been in this mine for a few hours. And as he's approaching, he goes, "Ah! Well done, bravo!"
I had a question. Before we left all the way, could we get the gems back out of the door? Or were they stuck in
They are stuck in the door.
Okay.
Damn. Good try, though.
I think we've cleared out the mine as much as we can.
Good.
Spiders shouldn't be a problem.
Many new clients, and, well, the true Sarin will appreciate it.
I'm sure.
Now then, your payment, 5,000 gold. He hands over just a backpack, throws it in front of you. Well done.
Put it in the handy haversack, or we can split it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's $12.50 a piece.
I trust that wasn't too much trouble.
No, they're...
We're pretty
I
beat up.
just look at myself covered in my own gore.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a bit of a mocking statement.
No, it was nothing we couldn't handle. I'm looking to get out of here, so please excuse me.
Be my guest.
Yeah.
You can meet me in Rever's End if you ever want to do business again.
I'm sure we'll be in contact, Sibelius. Excuse me.
You make your way.
Leander's pretty much, he's got a lot on his mind right now.
Yeah. Make your way. Yeah, because you just surrendered that to the Midnight Court, essentially.
Right,
Not
hopefully...
that everyone's like dead too. You have like 2 people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Exactly. And I think hopefully the Midnight Court won't be able to get that divination place working again, but I don't know, it seems like we kind of cleared it out. It'll probably just be ruins for them to investigate now. As far as...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what kind of charge system that's on, what kind of...
Right. Like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Could be anything.
Could
Which brings you guys back to the roads, and by the time the sun is sinking, you guys have made your way back, and you can see Lowton in the distance. And where would you guys like to go in Lowton?
I'd like to head to the forge quickly.
Paladin's Forge?
Yeah.
Alright. It's still open. These guys work through the evening.
Am I in that plate mail?
Okay.
How much was it?
It is 4,000 gold.
Oof. Okay, never mind. I have 1,800.
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah. Brayton Alson, the dwarf who was there previously, sees you walk in again, look at the plate again. You inquire as to its price. He tells you 4,000. I'm guessing you don't react too well to that.
Well, I probably looked down at my splint mail that now has, tears in it.
Yes.
Like pieces missing, but, my shield probably has a big 3 long claw marks going through it, but I'll be back.
I trust it. You go ahead.
But I would purchase. Now, can I spend 15 gold on like a new scabbard for my
definitely.
longsword?
Yeah. 15 gold gets you a nice one.
Yeah. Well, gotta keep it in good condition.
What about you guys?
I don't particularly have anything in mind. Is there...
Rest up.
Yeah,
I need to go clean up and stitch my wounds.
How would you send mail? Is there a postmaster? A post office?
The closest thing you could think to was maybe Sinksalter has something that can do that. But there doesn't seem to be many messengers. Notably, the thing that you guys have now just begun to really realize is there's not many young men in Sarangar. There's not many guards around town. You don't see much of a military force or anything along those lines. Since the River Wars, Sarangar has been vastly disarmed. And you would expect a lot more, people intrigued in this party in general. In other lands where they actually have people looking out for dangerous people. Here, the country is so broken, the kingdom is so defeated that it doesn't seem like they can even muster a town guard.
Right.
Some people have kind of gotten used to this and determined that's the way it is now, and some not so much. So do you guys go back to the tavern then? When you meet back up in town square?
I think so.
Cool. Let's on over to the tavern. You guys see a familiar 2 figures. Fralthane, the half-ogre, and Martin Sierre. Fralthane seems to have had quite the meal, and is now getting up because Martin gives him a slap and goes, "Come on now! It's time to go." Fralthane looks down at him and goes, "Still hungry," and looks over and see you guys approach and goes, "Good fight."
Yes, I'm sorry, I almost lost my head there.
Good
You almost
fight.
lost yours.
No, good. Martin looks at you and goes, "Get out of my way. We're leaving town.
Where are you headed?
River's End, where the next big arena is. I'm entering Fralthane here."
I asked Fralthane, and I say, "Do you like traveling with this man? Do you consider him your friend?"
Friend? No. Father? Maybe.
So you respect him? You like being with him?
He tells me I die alone. I do not want to die, so I go with him.
I
He looks at you and he goes, But you fight much better. Much better than Martin. I would go with you.
You would come with us.
I would. Martin looks up at him and goes, No. No. You are not going with them. No. Come on, Fralthane.
I say, hold on. I put my hand like on his chest.
What?
Every man has a price.
True.
I'm not buying this man. Let's be clear. I want his freedom.
And then what would you do with him?
Well, it seems like he would like to follow us, so if I would share my gold with him, I would share a roof with him, I would...
Ha! You're far too kind-hearted for this beast. He's my prize workhorse. What's your offer?
I will give you everything I have for this man's freedom.
Is
Freedom is
everything
worth
you
more
have
than anything.
10,000 gold?
No.
No. I didn't suspect so. 10,000 gold would buy his freedom. Till then, and he pats you on the shoulder. So long, Erlon. He's got training to do.
In my mind, I just... It's so easy to just cut him down.
Oh, it
free
would.
this man.
You might not be in the good graces of...
I clench my fists and blood kind of comes out of my palm, and I just...
As they make their leave. Huh?
I was gonna say, we'll get there, Erlon. I promised I'd help. And make sure that man will have his freedom thanks to you.
I'm gonna walk past him to the bar and just say it was a nice try.
Okay.
Like, really sincerely, though.
Celian is there cleaning up what looks to be the remains of Fralthane's meal, which was monstrous. There's like 4 plates and 3 jugs of milk, and he's just like, those 2 are terrible. Fralthane comes in, eats everything's on Martin's dime, and then Martin begs for discounts.
Well, I think we need a drink, so...
Oh, be my guest. I prefer to just be serving regular mugs. Sheesh. You folks look like you, he's actively pouring some mugs of Valley. Look like you've been through hell.
Feels like it.
Pretty close.
Gilroy, would you... I'd probably unclasp some of my armor and take my shield off, slide it over to you.
Sure thing. Of course.
You mend it?
I mend it.
Alright. Yeah, no, it's in much better condition now.
Yeah.
Shining as it did when you first bought it.
Right.
Good as new.
Thank you.
Celian, putting mugs of ale before you, looks at you and he goes, you folk, you haven't been around here for too long.
But a couple days.
Any thoughts on the area?
It's what I expected.
Is that so?
Well, the normal parts of it at least.
There's large forces at work here.
There are. Karan on Dune. Seen troubled days in the past, and it'll see troubled days ahead. I know of it. When you get this many travelers through, you hear the rumors, and the rumor is the new Sarin. The true ones, they call themselves. They're gathering forces. Rebels.
To the Farnwellians?
No. He's cleaning up some plates. He goes, I feel they're a bit misguided. What they want to do is take the head of Jarl Morgan, who sits in River's End, our current leadership, but he's known as the Kneeler, from when he surrendered Sarengar in our last battle of the River Wars. For that, he got quite a bad name for his reputation, but, well, if all of Sarengar's young men commit to fighting Sarengar, no one will stand up to Farnwell.
Sounds like that's our guy.
How far is River's End from here?
About 200 miles east.
It's quite a ways.
It is. But the roads are well traveled and well kept. With a horse, about a week and a half.
Are you a part of the temple?
No. The man who owned this space before me was, but I bought it off of him long ago.
What do you think about it?
Temple of Pelor, harmless folk. They,
Nothing weird, no one rub you the wrong way?
well, there's that one priestess, Lorelane. She's different than all the rest, for sure. They call her the town missionary. Send her out towards River's End to convert some of the poor folk who live in that trash heap.
Let me roll to see. Yeah. I think that was the one book.
Let's check the book.
Oh, don't worry. All right. Do we have it?
I leave it exactly where I found it. No, yes, you took the book. Do you want to see the notes?
Sure.
You just pull out this really bloody notebook.
That's right. I'm stitching myself up at the bar, so it's fine.
Right.
They're fine.
Six brave men and the priestess Lorelane.
Lorelane. Or Loreline, my bad.
She left him alone. She seemed troubled. I think that's all that's in there for her. Perhaps the temple or the ruins did something to her.
I think maybe she knew they were going to kill him.
Possibility.
Who's this?
Don't you worry about it. Pass him a gold.
Oh, I won't.
Oh, I think we have some questioning to do at the temple.
You know me. Trustworthy Celian. That's what they call me.
Do we want to rest first?
Yeah.
Before we...
Definitely.
I am very tired.
You guys make your way to your rooms, retiring for the evening.
I'm very hurt.
Seems like, majorly, the town is pretty quiet at the moment. Everything is in a state of winding down as the day crosses into the evening. And you guys make your way to your bedrooms. And, you gonna do anything in particular before you rest for the night?
Lock the door.
Okay.
20 minutes later.
I'm going to charge the dagger.
Okay.
Magic missile. And piece together some semblance of notes that will further Nonagus's studies a bit, but not
Without giving him
too
the whole
much.
picture, yeah. Alright. Anything for you, Melee?
No, I crash.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not hurt at all.
No, you were not. You
Didn't
never
take
went
any
after you.
damage, yeah.
Nearly killed Leander, never went after you.
I'm
Leander?
scared though.
Yeah, I was scared.
Probably pray and take it easy.
And Durlon.
Yeah, I start to stitch my wounds and put a little pipe weed in my pipe and smoke that as I stitch up and then lay down and try to relax.
Absolutely. And the evening goes on very quietly up until a few hours later, after you manage to indeed get some rest in. When the stars come out and you can see through your windows only the torchlight of the nearby buildings as far as light sources and the moon above the pond, Jantel comes rushing in, barges through the door, and runs into the hallway where you guys have your rooms and goes, "Are you awake? Are you there?"
Yes. I open the door and
Make your way out.
rush
the hall.
on out to her.
Yeah,
I'll
Okay.
go right out to meet her.
Sling my furs over my shoulder and grab my sword by the scabbard and run out.
Okay.
I'm kind of waiting by Gilroy's door.
Takes me a little longer.
At least I know you're alive in there.
Juggle all his magic stuff.
Here's a fun fact. Divine Smite works with punches. So if I get a brawl, I could just...
Call on Torm to beat the crap out of that guy. Chantel, rushing up, out of breath, seemingly has been running for miles, which is what her life has been ever since being sent north. She goes, Nold is under attack.
By who?
The true Sarin, the rebels. I thought that Vorkin would poison Loten. There's so many fields here, but now it seems that this entire kingdom is collapsing in on itself, and Vorkin is at the center of it. Bilberry and Zorn and Olrin and Arena, they've already made their way there. They're trying to make a front, but we're going to need your help.
Let's go.
Lead the way.
She rushes out, bringing you across the town of Loten and heading west. You guys make your way across quite a many fields and through across rivers, over bridges, and through forests until you come across a valley, which denotes the town of Nold and its surrounding. Much smaller farmland than Loten, but still existent. You can hear screaming, see smoke rising, and as you guys make your way there, you see... Let's see if this one treats itself as I would like it to. No. Okay. I know what I have to do at least.
So, I think Olrin said Noel
Boom.
was how far away? It's like...
It's a day's travel away,
Right.
usually, so it's in the morning about when you manage to make it here.
Right.
And it seems like a lot of the chaos has already taken place. The
Mhm.
town has been under attack for some time, and it seems like there's very little resistance. You make your way down kind of the main strip. I'll grab Jantel as well. And as you approach, you see a great many armed young men answer and come walking towards you down this main pathway. And they go, Oi! You here to mess with this?
You don't know what you're doing!
We know exactly what we're doing. We're giving Sarengar a spine.
Killing innocents gives you no spine.
These poor folk knelt when the Farinwellians came. They knelt. Vorkin will lead us to victory. Jarl Morgaunt must die. And with that, we are going to be rolling initiative. We have enough time for one more fight. They are throwing an 11. Gilroy.
7.
Okay. Leander.
5.
Erlon.
Also 7.
Melee.
17.
Thank goodness. Okay, that means Melee first, and I'll get Chantel in there. A 4.
She's been running a lot.
She has. Alright. Melee, these guys, suddenly unsheath weapons and definitely seem like they're going to try and kill you. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna step out from behind Leander, just to the side, and I'm going to fire.
Okay.
At the one in front.
The one right in the front.
Oh.
20. The poor guy.
Okay.
You go real low on my... I mean, I want to kill him, but I don't want to, like...
Completely murder
I
Totally.
hope your
I mean,
arrow
you've already
takes
hit
his
him,
head
like,
off.
right in the helmet. Like, let's see if he...
So, is it 2 of these, or do I...
Just
double
roll
that?
it and multiply by 2, and then multiply that number by 2.
So, 6.
And then add your bonuses.
9.
9.
Okay.
Yeah, you hit him straight in the shoulder.
Okay.
And the arrow sinks deep into his leather armor and past the chain. And he gives out a yell. These guys are absolutely just in, like, the raiding mindset.
Okay.
Did spending the night with that sword do anything?
You have not discovered any additional properties, though it does seem to have a socket. Like it could take a magical gem.
Right.
Alright, which brings it to these guys. He's going to rush up towards you. He's going to rush up on you. He's going to rush up on Jantel. And the old man, who I think is Geralt, is going to rush up on her. So one attack against melee. You can impose disadvantage.
Yep,
if
I'll
you'd
do
like.
that.
14.
That's my...
Gotcha. Going to be doing 8 points of slashing damage. One attack against Leander. Ooh. A 22. Going to be doing 6 points of slashing damage.
-3.
Right?
Man, that's really helpful.
It definitely does when you're just
From
fighting
heavy
regular
armor master.
dudes. And then an attack against Erlon.
6 to 3s.
Wow, what are they at? 23. Going to be doing 6 points of slashing damage and an attack against Jantel, which misses. Yeah, these people have definitely, you see their weapons are bloodied, as is their armor. They have been doing this all day, and they are right in the mindset of just tearing through people.
How many is there?
Right in front of you, there's 4. You can slightly see a few more in the building to your left, if that guy appears at all.
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely more in that interior. And then you see there's a few more actually up the road. One with a crossbow, though he doesn't seem to be willing to fire into the back of his friends. And then this hooded figure up this way. Which brings us to Gilroy. Gilroy, you managed to have a bulwark in front of you.
Yes. I think I'll enlarge Leander.
Oh.
Leander, you're willing to be enlarged?
I suppose so.
Huge Leander.
Consent is key. So yeah, Gilroy just bolsters the bulwark of his friends in front of him, placing a hand on Leander's shoulder. Leander grows to prodigious size.
Make my paladin.
And so you have advantage on strength. I didn't do it to you because if you rage, then you have that.
Yeah.
And plus 1d4 damage.
Right.
Erlon's turn?
Yes.
Alright, so there's no kindness in Erlon right now, only fury. So he's going to call to a different ancestor. He pulls out his greatsword and calls out to Walter. Help me obliterate these men.
And Walter appears behind you, a much larger spectral frame, places a hand on your shoulder and goes, "Furious now. They deserve it."
And I recklessly just hack through them.
Okay.
The one in front of me first. So that is
Ancestors would not be proud.
13.
13 hits. He's only wearing leather armor.
Careful, you would have been very disappointed. Oh.
Still might be. 8 damage.
8 damage. It's still,
That's still
a significant cut into this guy, and sends him reeling back. Which brings us to Leander. Leander, now twice your normal size.
I'll, I think I try and stab at the one that Erlon just cut into.
Okay.
So I have advantage on my just normal swings.
It's advantage on strength.
Saving throws?
Yeah, I think it's just saving throws.
So, if we got grappling and stuff, you would
Right.
be doing really well.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's this mat. I think it's still a 14.
Yes,
so,
against that guy, yes.
D8 plus D4. 9 damage.
Does it. You slice him on down. He falls to the ground and bleeds out in a pool. The first man you've killed in a long, long time. Perhaps ever for Leander.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Jantel, who's going to pull out a dagger and try and stab at this dude. He's gonna hit. For max damage. Cuts into him and just pierces right between the plates of his armor, which brings us to the top of the round with melee.
I'm gonna use my short sword
Okay?
with the guy I've been trying to hit. Oh. 12.
12 will not hit this
Yeah.
guy.
I thought that was a 1.
Slash out at him. He manages to evade it. One
Still
attack
didn't hit
against
him.
melee.
Yeah.
Is a 2. One attack against Leander. Is a miss. One attack against Chantel. Is a miss. And then this one is going to reposition and try and shoot you, Erlon, with a crossbow. The one way up north there. With a 16.
Yep.
He's going to be dealing. Where's all my d8s? There. 8 reduced to 4. Which brings us from those baddies. You also know, as this guy just kind of watching, creeps on back into the center of town, this crossroads that's further ahead past these buildings. Which brings us to Gilroy.
I think I'll pull the dagger from its scabbard
Sure.
on my hip. Say, this is how this is supposed to be used. And actually, I think I'll just. There's 3 in front of us.
There are 3.
I'll just hit one.
One for each.
Yeah, one for each. 2 damage.
2 damage, everyone. This is how this is supposed to be used.
At least it dealt damage.
Yes, no, it does stuff. Which brings us from Gilroy to Erlon as these 3 bolts of blue energy hit with a bit of concussive force.
So the one in front of Leander is the one that said that talked about kneeling, right?
Yes, he said that Jarl Morgaunt, the kneeler, must die.
All right. So with Walter next to me, I move 5 feet to the next square ahead of me.
Yep.
And I go, "You'll see what it's like to truly bow when I take off your knees." And I swing down with pure hate in my eyes, recklessly. Is this?
Reroll.
Yeah, reroll it.
Yeah, no, that one's
Okay.
fair.
Oh wow. Okay. So 23.
Yes.
Nice.
14 damage.
You kill him. Yeah, with that, as you say that, you cut on out from underneath and just eviscerate his legs, taking him right out. He drops dead, bleeds out immediately from that swing. And yeah, you definitely followed through with that thread. Which brings us to Leander. There's the one directly to your left, and then there's the one that Jantel's facing down, though she seems to be pretty proficient.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take out the one to my left.
Okay. I'm going to move you up a step.
16.
Yes.
How long does the enlarge last?
A minute?
I'm gonna say 10 minutes.
Up to 1 minute.
You have to maintain concentration.
No. 13 damage.
13 damage will kill him. Your oversized longsword comes slashing down on him and takes him out right in front of Melee. Which brings us to Jantel, who's going to stab at this guy. With a natural 20. Jeez. Now they come in. She kills him. So all we have left is that crossbow dude up there, which brings us from Jantel to Melee.
I'm going to try and shoot him.
Okay.
Come on.
Sharpshooter?
No.
Okay.
12.
12 will hit. He's wearing leather.
Nice.
Some of these guys have chains, some of them leather.
5.
Okay. Another arrow sinking into another shoulder. He will shoot back.
It's always a shoulder.
It's the non-lethal place to be hit. He's going to shoot back at you, and he's going to be throwing a 15. So he's going to be doing 6 points of damage as a crossbow bolt nicks you. Which brings us from the baddies, at least those who are at the ready in this current melee. You do hear the sounds of a lot of different combat, screaming, running, people slamming doors and crashing windows, just general grating noise, which brings us to Gilroy.
I'll try and hit him with firebolt, I guess.
Okay.
Loosing for 18.
Yep.
Where's my d10? Maybe 6 damage.
Okay, that's a more significant firebolt than we've seen in the past. Erlon,
So
continuing the rage.
yeah, I'm going to. Is there anything in this game in 5e for like charging?
There is a feat.
Oh, it's a
I think it
feat
adds
thing.
plus 10 to damage.
Oh,
so-
okay.
But
This
I think you
guy-
can make it.
This guy, yeah, you have
you're-
6 and then your attack. So
Okay,
it's a
yeah.
full movement, but you have your attack left.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to use the Great Weapon Mastery too, and I'm going to bring this down as hard as I can.
Okay.
Essentially what I want to do is I'm charging at this guy screaming with the Walter next to me.
Yep.
And I jump and I'm like, I want to kick him and then just bring my sword down
Okay.
as he like hits the dirt. So,
Should be good enough.
well, because I use the Great Weapon Mastery, it's -5, right? So
It would be.
4 plus... Yeah, so it's only 8.
No.
Yeah.
That one, you get the kick in, but he's just a bit off balance, and when you bring the sword down, it doesn't quite connect. Which brings us to Leander.
Is this hooded guy?
Yes, just watching. The hood obscuring whatever vision you could have of the details of his face.
Right. Well, I'm gonna just dash
Okay.
up as far as I can, so 12.
That's one square away.
And I think as I start my run, say, now I know how Arena feels when I do this. Run off alone.
Yeah. Which brings us to Jantel, who's gonna just try and finish that dude off with a longbow shot. A 12 will hit. All my d8s just ended up mysteriously missing. Damn it. Gonna be 6 points of damage, which leaves him with 1 HP. Melee.
How far? I can reach him with my longbow, the hooded guy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can try and shoot him.
Yeah. That guy's almost dead. You guys got it.
Oh yeah.
So 24.
Yes.
Seven.
Okay. He catches it.
That's
And
scary.
then he's gonna whip it at Leander.
Sorry, Leander.
He's throwing a 23.
Jesus. I mean, it'll only do
9 points of damage.
6 points of damage.
The most dexterous maneuver you've ever seen anyone do. That dude caught your arrow midair and then whipped it back at Leander there.
Yeah.
It was a very impressive maneuver. In doing that, however, his hood comes off through that motion, and you see a very human face. An older man who looks much from the wilds, as Erlan really kind of evokes. When you give him a look, you can definitely tell he's a free roamer. He's one of these barbarians. And once the hood comes off and he's whipped that back, he goes, "You're probably wondering why I did this."
And we're going to find out.
"'Tis because I am a child of the mountains, and the pines, and the sea." And with that, he's backing up, and a great many more warriors begin to charge in towards you. I think that's around where we're going to leave it off. With one additional little note, I'm just going to move you guys for some vision. You do see that down this way, Bilberry, Olerin, Arena, and Zorn are fighting hardcore, battling off their own side of this, and they seem to have a good many bodies behind them as they just try and hack and slash their way into this and save as many folk as they can. You hear screaming to your left. A woman screams from within that building to your left. You hear a man yelling for help in the building up this way. Seemingly a fire smoke rising from out the windows there, and the hooded figure, who now is no doubt Vorkin, goes, True heroes will save as many as they can." And with that, he begins to just slowly make his way further up north.
Sauntering up the road.
Yep. We can presume that this guy dies with his 1 HP.
Yeah.
And that is where we're going to call it for tonight at the Battle of Nold and the rising of the true Sauron, this rebel group. And really quite the reveal about Vorkin and his true nature. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 6 of the Lands of Alaire. I hope you enjoyed it. We're looking forward to episode 7. What you got, T?
So this is filmed live, streamed live, from our comic and game shop in Whitehall, New York, the Freakopolis Geeker. You can come by and see Ian and I 5 days a week, or you can check us out, some of the stuff we're stocking. We have lots of D&D, lots of comics, lots of other role-playing games, really good geeky pop culture stuff at freakopolis.com. We're also on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. If you search Freakopolis, we should pretty much be the first thing to pop up.
Yeah. Another mention for those of you who watch this post on YouTube, be sure to throw us a like on this video and share it if you really enjoy it. It means a lot to us, and like I had said, if we could hit 20 likes on one of these, I would be elated. And as for Joined by Gaming?
Yeah, we're Joined by Gaming. We're raising money right now for the Children's Hospital at Albany Medical Center. We have a big event coming up this weekend in Queensbury, New York. You can find more information about that and us on Facebook and Instagram. It's just /Joined by Gaming.
Yep, nice and simple. So search Joined by Gaming, Facebook or Instagram, and you can find an awesome charitable group that you can definitely consider going to their events this weekend in Queensbury, or throwing them a donation if you feel like making a donation towards a great cause like children's hospitals. And thank you so much for joining us. We also are going to throw out a big thank you to our father for putting together all the production on this show and the immense work that he puts into all those cool pop-ups you guys see, the camera angles, the map work and stuff. He has a hand in it all, and it wouldn't be possible without him. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. We can't wait for episode 7, and we will see you next Sunday.